All right, so we're going to move on from our recap. We have a new segment for this week. I hope you guys got this. I sent it to you earlier today.
Yeah.
The name of this segment is What the...
Nice.
All right. So here's my first point, all right? I thought it was really touching that they brought George Bush and his wife Barbara out to the center field for the coin toss, okay?
Yeah.
But this is the Super Bowl. What the are you doing having a 93-year-old man sitting in his wheelchair to do the coin toss? The toss doesn't even get a foot in the air. The coin's rolling all around in the player's feet. This was the craziest thing I've ever seen from any sports league whatsoever. What's your thoughts on this?
I think it's a non-issue. I think respect. It's in this area. I don't know where you're going off on him for. You sound like that maybe that you're pro-Trump or something, that you hated the Bushes this much.
Let Barbara throw the coin. Let Barbara flip it.
I see.
In a big game like this.
Ray, I got you.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
I get it.
The coin toss is a big part to start the game. That's going to decide who gets the ball, who, if you decide to defer it. The coin toss is a big part to kick off a football game.
Yeah.
And you need to have a good coin toss.
But listen,
you can't have it flip out of somebody's hand and fall around and roll it through people's feet.
Yeah, like a snake down there. I agree. It was great.
Especially, not only that, but remember, this is the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Half the world is watching this game.
Yeah, a lot of money involved. These guys work hard to get.
I just
you know what?
believe it.
It's a great gesture, I think. But maybe as our producer here, maybe Barbara could have got the coin and. It's kind of like when you're flipping loonies, doing the loony, and you flip it up, and it doesn't flip.
Yeah.
It's got to flip.
It's got to flip.
It's a big part of the game.
And it can't be rolling around at people's feet. It can't be doing it. It was terrible. It was a bad decision.
Homage to the president, homage to the military troop. He was a World War II vet.
Oh,
so come on.
That's why I said I think it's great they brought him out to center field.
Yeah.
That was good for them to pay respect. But just don't let him flip it. All right?
Okay.
All right, I get a little bit heated about the coin toss.
Chin strap might come off soon.
All right, point number 2. I'm not sure if the kick returners know this, but now in the NFL, when the ball is kicked into the end zone, they get to come out to the 25. More and more of these kick returners are getting the ball deep in the end zone, coming out of the end zone, and not even making it to the 15-yard line. So I want to know, what the... Don't you know you can take a knee and come out to the 25-yard line?
No-brainer.
Learn from Kaepernick. Take a damn knee.
Finally, it's relevant.
Right?
Finally, it's relevant.
What do you guys think of that?
Well, I think they should bring him in on a training course on that. Guys, come down. Perfect knee. No, I think that's a great point. I saw Atlanta when they brought it out. It was like a short kick. But these guys, their mentality is, I'm going to take it every time. So when you're a special team and you get in some of these guys' heads, they have success in practice. They have success. They have a lot of confidence in themselves. They think they're going to take it. They're going to go. They want to start not at the 25s. They want to start at 35, 40, right? So
if you look at some of the great return men, they do two things. One, they're measuring the arc of the ball. So if it's a high arc, it's a fair catch. If it's so long, they know the guys are going to get there.
Yeah.
And they find the ball, and then they look down, see it, and then they look up again.
That's right.
The new receivers, I don't think, are doing that as much. They just catch it and just get jittery, and they go.
Well, I think the game's so fast, too. It's like everything's on instinct. So when it comes down, you see holes, and it's like, I can get there. And the first instinct, I'm going. That's where I'm going.
You're in the Super Bowl. You got to use your brains.
Well, I think that falls down on the special team coach. The special team coach, if he says, if it goes in the end zone, got it. That's it. Your job is to, and that's when you see, the guy drops it or anything. Stop trying to look downfield, catch the ball, take the knee, just go. Okay.
This next point I want to talk about, as a football official, whether I'm doing Pee-wee or university games, I never understand this one. But I want to know, what is with these coaches not knowing how to manage the game clock? We've already talked about Matt Ryan snapping the ball with 13 seconds left to go on the time clock. There was mistakes made by New England at the beginning of the first half. Brady, the clock was rolling. They're down 21-0, or they're down 21-3 at that point, and they're taking their time to get up the line of scrimmage. These offensive coordinators should be telling their guys, a play ahead of time. No matter what happens on this next play, get up to the line of scrimmage. I find clock management by teams, whether it's Pee Wee or NFL, and all levels in between, are horrendous. And I hear players, coaches go on about officials and the way we do games. I want to tell you, as an official, you coaches and players don't know what the heck you're doing when it comes to time management.
That's a big one.
I think that's
That
why New England has won 5 Super Bowls. They are obviously the best prepared football team in the National Football League. They're ready for every situation, regardless of what time it is in the game.
Very well.
And you need to be, you could tell, like we were just saying, Matty Ryan with no timeouts, 50 seconds, he was in panic mode. I think he was in shock of the tie game. They weren't ready for quick passes to the sidelines to get it out of bounds, to maybe kick a field goal. So, it's a great point, Ray. These guys, Belichick's the best at it, no question. I think all the coaches in the National Football League, no matter what level, Pee-wee, Adam, it's a huge part of the game. You don't want to give the ball, in yesterday's situation, to the greatest quarterback of all time with time left on the clock. Like, I don't understand it.
I'm gonna let off the Pee-wees and the Adams and everything because
Different story.
Well,
But you can teach them at that.
But it's very complex. While they're trying to put packages together, you're like, okay, what kind of personnel do we need in here to match up with this? So there's some processing. The higher levels, the lower levels, you get these kids all on the same. Like what the? On the kids, they can't. They're not going to be able to keep up with that. And then they got the emotions.
Forget about the kids. I'm talking just coaching.
Oh, the coach.
Like when you're up 15 points and there's 3 minutes left to go in the game, you don't need to throw the ball. Run the ball. Let the clock click.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about.
It would be interesting yesterday to see if New England was in the Atlanta situation and what Belichick would have done at the end of that fourth quarter, when they should have ran it maybe.
Well, I think they would have let him run
well,
through.
I think all teams should be hiring an expert to come in and handle time management for them. Dan Quinn, check out my LinkedIn profile. Give me a shout. I'd be more than happy to come look after your time management for you.
The only last.
Sorry, boys, you'll have to find a new host.
I think that the only last little tiny point with that is these kids have I'm not going to bug you that you haven't played football, but you haven't. But when you get hit and your emotions going and you can't get to the line and the nervous is going, it's not the same. You're not a professional. Or an amateur. So you could get all these type of people come in, Pee-wee and Adam, and these kids are going to be skirting around. And you see that head on, they're showboating, having a great time.
But there's nothing wrong with working on it.
When you're there, trust me, I'll tell you, these Pee-wee programs, by the time you get to playoffs, you would be so surprised at how fine-tuned some of these offenses run.
Fair enough.
It really is. I work these games. Yeah. All right, last one. This is a little bit about the NFL's overtime procedures. Now, I don't think it would have had it wouldn't have had an impact on this game. But I want to know, what the is up with the NFL's overtime procedures? Jeff, you made a comment last night. Let's start with your thoughts on this.
I haven't understood it for years. Now it comes down to the Super Bowl's on the line. In my mind, in my opinion, you come down to a coin toss and whoever gets the ball first, your percentages of winning the game are obviously better than the team that loses a coin toss. So, I never agreed with it. I don't think it's, kudos to the Patriots. They did what they had to do, no question about it. But you got the MVP in the sideline that doesn't even get to touch the football. I'll just relate to yesterday's game. I don't see any other sports that go down this way. It's kind of like going to a shootout in hockey where, Chris, you score, and Ray, you don't even get a chance to tie him up. So I think they need to look at it. I think they need to figure out a way that it's fair. People will say, well, if you score the touchdown, your job is to stop them. Yes, I get that. I get it. Or if you kick the field goal, then the other team has an opportunity to go. But if you score a touchdown or a field goal, the other team needs to touch the ball. No question about it.
Well, the NFL's been discussing this for the last few years, how they should handle this. And in my personal opinion, I think they should look at the Canadian Football League or Canadian football as far as how we run overtime procedures in Canada. And the way it works in Canada is we have what's called a shootout. So if a game is tied at the end of regulation, they will then do a coin flip on who's going to take first possession. You go to a 35-yard line and your possession begins. And that possession goes until either you've been stopped or points have been scored. If points have been scored, the second offense will then take the ball again at the 35-yard line and begin to move the ball. Their job is to either tie that score or beat that score.
Right.
Okay, so if the first team scores a touchdown, they got to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And if they tie, then both teams go back to the 35 and begin again.
Okay.
And it continues on until one team doesn't match the other team's scoring or beats the other
So
team.
they always have to get a positive play to keep going.
You have to get,
So a
have
sack
your
and a
possession, you get 4 downs.
Okay.
In the NFL, you get your 4 downs. So your possession starts on first down, and you keep on moving until you've run out of downs or you've made a score.
Okay, yeah, I
See,
like that.
I think just the way that the
Both
dynamics,
offenses get the ball.
the dynamics of the way football is played. I mean, other sports you play, whether it's basketball, hockey, both teams possess, whether it's the puck, the basketball. It's kind of like yesterday's game. If you go to extra innings in baseball, and the Jays score the run in the top of the 10th, while the Yankees don't get a chance to score in the bottom. Like, it doesn't make sense. In my opinion, it makes zero sense at all. I think what you need to do with the dynamic of football is you need to put a timed overtime and
Play it out.
play it out.
Yeah.
So if you beat because yesterday, White kind of falls into the end zone. Nobody knows if it's a touchdown. And all of a sudden they call it as a touchdown. And I think everyone was kind of in shock when this game's over. Like,
Yeah.
Atlanta didn't even...
Get a chance.
Well,
Especially with that much money. These guys work so hard. There's so much money involved. Even overtime in the regular season for seeding for playoffs. It's not fair to the athletes and the organizations that are on the losing end of this.
Well, see,
I heard
No
that, like
question.
that same kind of thing of where, certain amount of time and a touchdown, but if you go a touchdown and a field goal, then that's a capper. So if you get a touchdown and the other team comes down, then it comes down to the next field goal,
Yeah.
and then that's
I read a cool thing today. A guy was saying it's tough to go to if you score a touchdown and then the other team has to score a touchdown to keep it going because now you're taking the punt out of the game, so you got 4 downs.
Yeah.
So if New England goes down and scores, now Atlanta's got to score. Well, the punt's out of the game. Now you got 4 downs every time.
Yeah, but
so I think
see-
if you
see,
go 8
here-
to 10 minutes,
here's the thing with that Canadian system that I just talked about. It's an exciting finish to a football game. And the reason why you can't just put 15 minutes back on the clock is because look at the first quarter, no points were scored.
Yeah.
And the NFL's biggest challenge is the length of the game as it is now, right? Especially the Super Bowl. It was 4 hours and 50 minutes last night, okay? That's a long Super Bowl to throw another 15-minute quarter on top of it.
Yeah.
When you go to a shootout fashion like this, and you're only starting at the 35, so you know the field goal's in play right away, right?
Yeah.
What it does is it gives both offenses a chance to score, and it can be relatively a very quick overtime, or if both teams keep matching each other, it can go on for quite a while. I've been involved in a football game where it went back and forth 13 times.
Right.
So it can add time on, or it can add a lot of time on, but I'll tell you what, the fans find it exciting, like the shootout in hockey every time.
It seems like a good way to do it. Yeah, you could just imagine the guys on the Atlanta sideline after they don't even get the ball.
Yeah. They're going to change that after this.
It has to.
All right, guys, so that's been our newest segment. That's what we call, What the?